These are the 15 best Roblox VR games that you have to try on your Meta Quest 3. So let's dive right into it. And directly starting it off with one of the craziest ones, which is none other than Edgeworks. Because this game is pretty similar to some high quality VR titles known as Boneworks and Bone Lab. So if you are already familiar with those, or if you just like some more realistic action combat while you're moving your way through the levels, then this one is perfect for you. But that gets us to number 2, and that is Tunneler. And this is also directly one of my favorite Roblox VR games of all time. Since at its core, it is basically a replica of the famous Portal games, but then inside virtual reality. And that also means that you'll be solving some complicated and mind-bending puzzles, all while you're trying to teleport yourself to the exits. But besides just being a simple copy, this game also comes with a lot of its own unique puzzles. So if you like a challenge, or if you are a big fan of the original games, then you should definitely give this one a shot. However, probably the most popular Roblox VR game is number 3, known as VR Hands. Because the cool thing about it is that in this world, you can be a big godlike creature that interacts with these smaller flat screen Roblox players down below. And what makes it extra special is that the other normal players are completely dependent on your actions. So you could, for example, push them away, or even just pick them up and place them on the other side of the map. But if you're looking for some more high quality action, then you should check out number 4, which is Opposers. Since this is a first person shooter that has one of the best looking worlds that you can find here. And besides its great looks, it also has some heart racing action that will have you on the tip of your seat at all time. Because next to the different game modes, there are a lot of other cool power-ups and weapons for you to interact with. And it goes from reloading them to changing your magazines and everything in between. Basically making it look how you would do it in real life. And it is exactly the implementation of those actions that put it miles above the others out there. Well, sadly, the accuracy of your shots is not always on point though. So if that's important to you, then you might want to check out number 5 instead, which is Skywinds. Because this is a simple wave shooter where precision is key, while also rocking a badass steampunk style to it. And in here, you will try to defend yourself against the many airship attacks that are coming your way. But luckily, you will have multiple upgrade possibilities for your gear, so that you can keep on leveling up and take out as many enemies as possible. And while the gameplay might not be too complicated, it can definitely be nice to just sit back sometimes and to try to hit those targets as quick as possible. And on number 6, we have Energy Assault. Now this is an advanced laser tag, but then in VR. So that means that you can pull out some crazy moves, all while you're trying to find your opponents on the map. But it also comes with lots of different game modes, like Capture the Flag, but also a big progression system for your weapons, and some good accuracy, although it can look a bit rough in some areas. Then on the other side, if you're looking for a more relaxing title, then try number 7, which is The Road Not Taken. Now in this one, you can drive your very own car wherever and whenever you want. And the nice thing is though, that there is also some cool scenery that you can come across, as well as buildings and other things that pop up as you go, making it still a super nice surprise every time that you come past something new. Just make sure that you don't crash your car while you're at it. And number 8 is Jungle Bungalows. And yes, this is just Gorilla Tag inside Roblox. But the main difference is that you can also do a bunch of other things in here that just weren't possible in the original. And at the end of the day, the mechanics are also still as simple and easy to learn as you remember. Because you will just have to swing your arms around to move yourself forward or to jump over obstacles. But moving on to number 9, we have Clashers VR. Now this is a real throwback to those old school tower defense games, but then in first person. So instead, you will have to fight hand-to-hand combat with waves of enemy knights that are coming for you. And you can actually fight back with either using your trusty sword and shield, or with bow and arrow if that's more your style. And if you have some friends in Roblox, then you can also play it with up to 4 people in total, so that you can hold your ground just a bit longer. And at number 10, we have VR Sandbox. Now this is for all those creative ones out there. Because besides just playing a game in God mode, like the previously mentioned VR Hands, you can actually create the complete world itself in here from the ground up. And while the tools that you get might not be as detailed, it will still give you more than enough options to make something really cool out of it. But before we get to the next 5 must-play Roblox VR games, Let's first have a quick word from the company that made this video possible. Because none other than Cat VR, who are known to create VR treadmills that look like they come straight out of Ready Player One, are taking VR once again to the next level. Because while we normally are limited by the space and boundary system inside our virtual reality experiences, it is Cat VR that has been creating VR treadmills that let you run, crouch, and jump without any limitation. And since their most recent version, that is known as the C2 Core, is compatible with nearly every headset, it is often also considered as the dream upgrade for any VR setup. And they even go so far that for those hardcore fans, they also have high-end models that include things like haptic feedback or a vehicle hub, making it feel even more realistic, like riding on a horse inside VR. And as a cherry on top, you can also use the code VRelity for a $130 discount on your entire purchase. So for those who are interested, I'll leave a link in the description below. And that gets us to number 11, which is VR Escape Room. And yes, just like the title implies, this one will put you into a virtual reality escape room with some interesting puzzles that just wouldn't be possible in real life. So to be able to get out, you will have to think a bit out of the box. And on number 12, we have VR Hangout. Now while this one has some similarities to the other social VR games on Roblox, the main difference though is that in here, you will also be able to play a lot of mini games with your friends. And it goes from playing ping pong to smashing it out on a full-on drum set and nearly everything else you can think of, making this a great choice if you just want to have some fun with your buddies. But for a more serious experience, we have number 13, known as Project SCP. And this is based and converted from the original game known as SCP Secret Laboratory. And the big twist here is that you will be given one of the many different roles from the start. And that can go all the way from trying to escape the lab to making sure that nobody leaves the place. And even after you actually got a game over, then you can still help out until the round is finished. Although some of these roles can get pretty complicated since there are just so many of them. But if you know the original lore or played the game itself, then you will sure have a great time here. Just remember that the gameplay can get pretty hectic and intense. So if you are easily jump scared or if you get motion sick quite quickly, then you might want to take it a bit easy on this one. And instead, you then might want to start off with some calmer or more beginner-friendly experiences. But regardless, Project SCP is definitely a must play. Which gets us to number 14, and that is VR Blocks Drawing. Now while this might be one of the more simple titles on this list, it is nonetheless a pretty nice experience. Because once you start it up, you will directly get access to a paintbrush and a huge studio where you can go wild and create any piece of art that you can imagine. And for those who want, it also has the option for multiplayer so that you can make some cool stuff together. And on number 15, we have Inscripted, which is a roguelike card game based on the PC version known as Inscription, but then for free. And if you've played this one before, then you know how addictive yet haunting the experience can be. Because just like the original, the atmosphere is so tense that it will make your adrenaline pump as you are dealt your cards. So try your best to survive in this one, because you really don't want to lose in here. But that's not all, because besides some Roblox VR games, there are also a lot of completely free Quest 3 games that you have to try. So click on the video that you see on screen right now to make sure you don't miss out on that. And of course, stay awesome.